everyone, welcome back to Sin City Crypto. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts. Today we are discussing Bitcoin. Are we officially in a bull market? Bitcoin shoots past 30K. Why? How? Where? When? And why? We're going to discuss that. Also, Jerome Powell did testify today, and he called stablecoins money. He also had a take on the crypto industry, whether it has staying power. We have that video clip, and we have much, much more to talk about. But first, here is your other host, Robin.
It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, well, we're an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take all that old, boring, and, well, sometimes stale information that you get from other people, but we do it in a fun and sexy way. Bitcoin's moving, man. That's right, 30,000. The bull market's back, baby. Rocco.
Don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do the noise.
That's right.
How funny would it,
Do you think, is there any chance we go under 20K anymore?
Never.
Seriously?
What?
Kidding. Probably not. Probably not. Speaking of Ks, today you'll notice your stream is in 4K, and that is big thanks to channel sponsor, Cam's Blue Wire Technology. We recently upgraded to fiber, but it's not just plug it in and there you have it. You have to change network settings and optimize your network things and things I don't know anything about. That's why we call our channel sponsor Cam's Blue Wire Tech. Visit bluewiretech.com or simply click the link in the description of this video. Now, speaking of videos, we found a video of Gary Gensler and the SEC and what they've been trying to do to the average crypto investor like yourself. And, well, I don't need to speak anymore. Here we go. So I will just go ahead and read the SEC trying to shake you out of your position before crypto makes new all-time highs. And, well, this is a visual representation of that. Like, get out of the markets. We're regulating it. And then we're the duck here, just holding steady and saying, nope, we hodling, baby. We hodling. Also,
Brave duck.
We have, so this is not funny, but there is, did you guys hear about that submarine that is stuck underwater? That took 5 people down to the Titanic.
I think they might have ran out of oxygen by now.
They said Thursday, but I'm not sure. But apparently they are sending a manned car thing down there that can go down. I think it's like 2-point-something miles. But, you know, Joe Biden did have an idea of how to help him. And so Biden is going to send a rescue train to search for the missing sub. So, of course, this is a joke. And I've come to realize that Babylon Bee has the funniest headlines out there. This is in reference to Joe Biden said he's going to build a railroad, a train track across the Atlantic Ocean. And so this is his idea of how we would save. And that is why our country is in trouble. We also have big news from Apple. Here is a glimpse of potential future Apple products and prices. And, well, this one's going to be without sound because we get copyrighted. But here are some of the ones. And here you can see, obviously, first one here is the Apple Jetpack, which would go for about $120,000. The eMoto, about $250,000. And Apple, I do think Apple will eventually come out with a car. You can teleport yourself in the future for $29 million. Apple's UFO will cost you $1 billion. Apple Chair, $1 million. Apple Orange. You get the point. Apple's kind of starting to corner the market. A lot of people are saying they're anticipating Apple to get into the crypto space, whether it's their own wallet, integrating crypto payments into Apple Pay. Who knows? Yeah. Which of those products would you buy, Robin? Would you buy the chair? Would you buy that orange? What about an Apple hologram for $900?
I think they teleport.
Apple scooter.
Teleport.
It's just funny, you know. Apple's market dominance is something to be jealous of. Now, there are a few other things I would like to highlight. Robin is apparently not in a laughing mood today. He's very stressed out.
He had a too soon joke, and then
That is not a too soon joke.
The Apple one is yeah. So it was okay.
Okay.
Well, there we go. Got to laugh out of him somehow. So, the Pentagon made an accounting error. So they lost track of $6.2 billion. That money made its way to Ukraine.
It's so easy.
Yeah, I make accounting errors as well. Not sure if I made it to that level, but just be careful, guys.
But it's funny how the accounting error is us spending money we shouldn't be spending, right? It's like, you go into the strip club here in Vegas, and then your wife's all like, how much you spend? Like, like $800. And then she's all like, well, the bank account says 10,000. I'm like, what? It's an accounting error. Did I spend 10,000? And so I think that's where we're at here with the government. They've been spending money they shouldn't be spending. And then, all of a sudden somebody's like, hey, you actually spent $6 billion more than you said, right? Oh, we did?
That's like Sam Bankman-Fried saying, well, I don't know how they got labeled the way they got labeled or how they got spent or commingled. I don't know. That's kind of what it sounds like. But what's funny is I wonder if the person who made this accounting error is going to be held liable. Will be fired. Probably not.
No.
Probably not. So,
no chance.
No chance. With that being said, Robin, let's take a look at the markets.
All right. So in this space of cryptocurrency with jubilation, we are at over 30K. We are also under 40 likes or 50 likes. That's pretty depressing. So hit the like button. If you like Bitcoin being over 30K, hit the like button. If you're excited about your portfolio gains, hit the like button. And just hit the like button. That's all I got. All right. So taking a look, Bitcoin is moving, ladies, gentlemen, over 30,200. And so gigantic move this morning. You can see that over the last 24 hours, we went from 27,000 all the way up to 30. We did get as high as 30,600 here. So, man,
depends on where you're looking. On Binance.us, Bitcoin did make all-time highs, 138K.
It did it really?
Yes.
Had Binance order books.
That's Binance what I'm talking about, yeah. On Binance US, but there's a reason for that is because the liquidity providers have all moved away. Market makers, yeah.
So you can see here on the 1 week where we came from. We were at 24.8 just a week ago, and now we are over 30,000. It shows you just how powerful this Bitcoin ETF is shaping up to be. We have another major company applying for a spot Bitcoin ETF as well. And not to mention, you have the EDX that we covered yesterday. So powered by Fidelity. So there's a lot going on in the market. Seems like, hey, retail might not be interested in crypto right now, but who is? Traditional finance, United States, big power players. So really excited there. Ethereum also over 1,800. Still not as big of a move as Bitcoin. So you know what happens. Bitcoin moves, consolidates, then the alts run, usually led off by Ethereum. So I'm excited to see where Ethereum's going to land because look at this, man. Bitcoin's up 16% on the week. ETH is up 8%. So I think that Ethereum is going to catch up to this, to the gains. And so, yeah, we'll go with that. So,
I do have a Bitcoin chart I'd like to share.
Yeah, what you got?
So we have BTC here on the 1 day. It just completely blew through the cloud. Now, we do expect for a healthy move up, we would expect Bitcoin to come retest the top of this cloud, which would bring us back down to about $28,436. Or this thing could just keep mooning. Wait and see, right? If we take a look at the easy bands, we have blown past the 21-week moving average as well. And we are now headed up to, if we start getting into the sell zone here, you're looking at starting at 39K, 39.3K. That is typically the zone that you want to start DCAing out. If you follow Forrest and the easy band indicators, I'm going to drop those away. And we're going to take a look at the weekly. I have the Ichimoku Cloud on here. Now, I've talked about this being a bull flag for quite a while, and it has broken out. So if we draw a trend line from the top channel here to the bottom, You can see a clean breakout. We should see resistance, and I've talked about this on the show plenty of times, but for me, everyone always asks, well, when are we going to be in a bull market, right? And again, guys, this is on the weekly. I want to see the upper end of this cloud be broken, which is at right at $31,800. So what you typically want to see is a move like this, a move up, above, retest, and then bam, you're off to the races. And so this would put us at above 31.8, come back, retest. That's if this happens within the next, we have until about September 18th. If not, that number drops considerably down to 29K and continues to drop down as the cloud moves down. You got to remember, guys, cloud is 52-week and a 52-day, 26-day moving average, right? Forward. So things to consider. I do want to go over the crypto bubbles here. So some of the biggest gainers, Pepe is up almost 50%. 50%. Flow is up 20%. Stacks up 25%. We did do a Stacks video a few weeks ago. Say 2-3 weeks. Talked about how the Bitcoin ecosystem and Stacks and I told you I was going to DCA in. Got in a lot at 50 cents, 60 cents, and now this thing's sitting over 80 cents. Where's Stacks at? 84 cents on Stacks. Now the good thing with Stacks, and I'm just going to pull up crypto rank here and just take a look at their tokenomics, right? And I talked about this in a near video I did yesterday. You do want to make sure before you invest in a coin or a project, understand what the purpose of the coin is, what utility it serves, and the tokenomics. You want to see if there's a big inflation, what the total market cap is. So we got 1.38 billion tokens in circulation with a max of 1.81. So over 3/4 of the total supply is currently circulating. And so depending on how big you think the layer 2 ecosystem of Bitcoin can grow, you know, we had this discussion earlier, but in my opinion, Stacks is still undervalued. At a 1.17 billion market cap, fully diluted 1.5. If Bitcoin is at $500 billion, if it gets to $1 trillion, and the ordinals and the BRC20 tokens and building DeFi on top of Bitcoin, if that narrative continues and Stacks is still continues to be the number one layer 2 on top of Bitcoin, what market cap would you put Stacks at? So keep that in mind. 84 cents, in my opinion, is a steal. But of course, not financial advice. Do with that information as you please.
Did you see that Jerome Powell testified today?
I did.
Did you have any clips for that?
I do.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
He's following my lead, my friend.
Oh no, I was just saying I had one and I was watching it, and so I had it pulled up, but I didn't know if I didn't want to pull one up that you already had pulled up. The one where he says crypto appears to have staying power as asset class.
I got that clip.
Dude, that is so juicy. That's just a little teaser for you guys.
No teaser.
Little tease.
Except that's literally the only thing he said. But
okay.
Before I move on, I want to go back to Bitcoin really quick. So this is liquidations. Over the last 12 hours, we've had $150 million in crypto liquidations. And over the last 24 hours, 270 million. So just above $250 million. And of course, a majority of that is going to be the shorts. We go here, we can see the percentage. 80% of the liquidations in the last 24 hours have been in the shorts. If you go look at the 1 hour though, still the shorts, it was the longs 1 hour ago, but that has changed as well. So shorts are getting squeezed, shorts are getting wrecked. And one more thing I like to keep an eye on here is the options. Of course, you have end of day options, end of week options, end of quarter, end of biannual, and end of annual. So we are coming up on end of Q2 option expiries. So these are the open interest by strike price. You can see here, we have over 24,000 contracts as far as open interest for calls at 30K. And the majority of the puts are coming in at 24K. And so what this means is if the price of Bitcoin closes over $30,000 by the end of the month, so come July 1st, if Bitcoin is over 30K, all these people that have money in these contracts are going to be in profit, okay? It favors the bulls. Now, if we go below that and we hit closer to that 25, 24K, then the bears are in possession of the market. But overall, $7 billion is coming in on the call side and 3.3 billion is coming in on the put side. And then as far as expiry, you can see here, massive amounts of expirations coming in at the end of the month. 93,000 on the call side and 46,000 on the put side. So something to keep an eye on. Expect some volatility by the end of the month. Also, going into Q3, that typically has been a pretty negative quarter, but we'll see. Can crypto and Bitcoin continue their rally despite what the traditional markets are doing? Despite the narrative, despite the Fed might hike interest rates again? Who knows? Robin, what do you think? Can Bitcoin fight off the narratives?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it's doing now, right? I mean, there's been so much FUD over the last
6 months.
Yeah, I would say I'd even go back a year, right?
Mm.
And the only positive we've had is this Bitcoin ETF, right? I mean, there are projects that are building. Ethereum had the Shanghai upgrade and moved to proof of stake, but there really hasn't been any giant developments in the crypto ecosystem. Not any like, earth shaking, hey, crypto is here. Remember the El Salvador Bitcoin tender, and all of that happened over a year ago in a different era. And
More than a year ago.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it all happened over a year ago. And so since then, we haven't had any true conviction that you can be like, look, man, crypto is here to stay, and here's why. We haven't had that moment this year, right?
I think we do now.
Yeah. I mean, we can sit here and add up the narratives. You can say, hey, look, people are using it. There's more wallets. Bitcoin hasn't, majority of wallets haven't moved in the last couple of years. We can compile a list, and we can draw diagrams and put yarn up there and be like, see, you can see that adoption is coming. Like, we can do that.
Yarn, huh?
But to sit at the barbershop and just be like, hey, man, guess what happened? Game changer, Bitcoin for the win. Like, we haven't had that. So I think I think that this is it. I think that the Bitcoin ETF, remember, the United States, largest economy, the largest financial center, stock market around the globe, and you can buy Bitcoin. Not yet, but it seems as though as long as they get approved, pretty sure BlackRock has friends in high places, because they do. I think they'll get approved, and I think that you're gonna have a new. And what do I always say? The bull market is contingent on a new surge of liquidity in users, right? And the New York Stock Exchange, traditional finance, also institutions, publicly traded companies. You can get a position on Bitcoin now without the worry of the SEC coming down on you, and you can do it through stock exchange, and you don't have to worry about custodying it yourself. You don't have to worry about the seed phrase thing. You don't have to worry about impermanent loss. You don't have to worry about getting sued. It's a perfect scenario, right? And remember, every bear market, there is building going on.
Building. Build.
So last, 2018, that's when Binance and Coinbase, that's when all the exchanges were setting up shop here in the States, right? Now, Coinbase had already been operating here, but you remember in 2020, though, you wanted to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Dogecoin. Let's just say like those three that retail was going nuts over. How many different exchanges could you buy all those assets on? Here in the States, there was a lot, right? And that infrastructure, that liquidity, that access to the tokens, that was built in 2018, right? You couldn't get those in 2016, not through those channels, right? They didn't have the on and off ramps like that. And now we saw this is all connected, man. I'm telling you, the market moves by liquidity.
You know what's crazy?
And it's the same. It's the same. Like if you look at a DEX, look at a small cap. Once the liquidity starts to dry up, that's when the price falls, right? And that's where we're at in the markets. And so the United States government was kicking out exchange after exchange, and then other crypto projects that had skin in the game were closing up shop, like Celsius and all them, FTX. And so The liquidity was going away, and so the market dropped. At the end of the day, like, we can sit here and show you a million different graphs and analytics and go to this website and that website, but it's pretty simple. If the store is empty and there's nobody shopping, you're not making a profit. If it's Black Friday and the place is packed, you're turning some money. It's the same thing in crypto. It's the same thing in markets in general. If people are there buying and trading, then you're gonna expect big prices. You can expect Bitcoin to be moving. And the biggest mover there is, the Black Friday moment in retail, the Black Friday moment right now here in crypto, is the United States getting on board with crypto. The stock market offering Bitcoin. Like, that's it, man. That's the next coming of the bull market.
What's crazy to me is through all of this, Bitcoin rallying from 27 to 30K, from 20 to 32, from 20 to 31K, has all been under a suppressive government when it comes to crypto and Bitcoin, right? They've told you that crypto is a bad investment. Crypto is only used by money launderers. You have senators like Elizabeth Warren and Brad Sherman. Brad Sherman flat out said, just shut them all down. Told Gary Gensler, shut them down. Everything's secured. Elizabeth Warren, she's running on an anti-crypto narrative for re-election. All that is happening. They're cutting up fiat on and off ramps off. They're kicking exchanges out of the U.S. They're suing everyone to death. And Bitcoin continues to put up the middle finger, says F you, and continues to move forward. If you're watching, all those people, when FTX went under and Bitcoin was at 15K, who sat there and laughed at you and said, well, how's your Bitcoin doing? Remember those people. Because in the next 6 to 12 months, when everything starts to settle and the tides start to turn here in the US and the rest of the countries like China, who are now becoming more crypto, continue on that path. And now we have a real arms race for innovation, for hoarding Bitcoin. And then your friends are going to come to you again and say, hey, man, so I've been really thinking about getting into Bitcoin. Well, you shouldn't laugh at them. You should help them get in. But if you're watching, guys, you're so ahead of the game. You know, someone said it on Twitter. I forgot who it was. But this is literally the first time in history where retail investors like me and you are able to front run the institutions. Don't take that lightly. You're in the right place at the right, perfect time. And so that gets me excited. Hope that gets you excited as well. Speaking of getting excited, Robin, why don't you get excited and butcher some names here for a second?
Why I gotta butcher names, bro?
I don't know. You tell me. It's a question only you can answer.
All right. If you are new here, say hello so we can jump an whole lot back at you. I do have a few new people. Fernando Diaz, Murph Dog, Rick Wilson, Crypto King, and Johnny Jackhammer. Who Johnny says he was driving through Vegas on his way to California. Thought of us, but it was dark and hella sketchy at every gas station he stopped at. That's what he said. Wow. Anyways, to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, we have a very ugly metric on this like button. Apparently, you do not like this show.
Please like the show. You know who would like the show if they were watching is Jerome Powell. Well, because he had some. So, as Rob alluded to,
is he bullish on crypto now?
Bullish? Not just. Here's the thing, though. Not just what he said. Well, also what he said, but what he said about stablecoins too. I think that's going to have a big impact. So here we go. Jerome Powell testifying today in front of Congress. Man looks
tired. Why does he look like he's been smoking weed?
Man looks like he just did the longest bong rip off a house-made bong, blown glass. And
he's like,
and the people in the back too.
I just got me a fat sack. I bought it through with some Bitcoin, bro. Lightning
Silk
Network
Road,
got me blasted, bro.
Crypto and digital assets in the U.S. has got a,
there we go. All right, ready? Let's play.
Crypto and digital assets in the U.S. has got a, market cap of around $1.1 trillion right now. It's been there for a bit. Do you acknowledge that this asset class has staying power in the U.S. economy?
It appears to have some staying power. Of course, that 2.1.
I want you to, because I dissect things, right? I'm an overthinker. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But his choice of words, okay? He could have said, yes, it does. But he chose to say, it seems to. And that to me goes to prove that that they have admitted defeat. They have admitted defeat. They have tried to stop the industry and the innovation in our industry. They try to stop it in its tracks, and they are admitting defeat. Okay, just.
It's been there for a bit. Do you acknowledge that this asset class has staying power in the U.S. economy?
It appears to have some staying power. Of course, that 1.1 trillion was, what was that a year ago? A lot higher.
Yeah, it's had some
Can't just answer the
volatility.
question. He got to throw some shade. He's like,
What
hold
I'm
on,
saying, bro.
hold on. But that 1.2 trillion, that was years ago, man.
They've admitted defeat, guys. They've admitted defeat. There's
Wait,
nothing.
was the Fed actually fighting against crypto?
Well,
I mean,
the
I
whole
know the SEC was.
Well,
and I know
you can look at the whole Custodia Bank thing, right? And pretty much you're getting the Fed and FDIC working together.
I'm not saying they weren't. I'm just saying that, like,
Look, you
yeah,
have.
how
of
about
course-
this? How about this? They weren't advertising that they weren't
They're not
weren't vocal about fighting crypto.
Correct. But they were fighting.
That's what I was
I
just
truly
asking. I'm like, were they fighting?
I think
And it's just a question.
I believe so.
I think it was in the back. I don't
Robin,
know.
when you
I
worked
don't know.
together with the FDIC and you did what you did to the banking system and you opened up discount windows to certain banks and not
But
to
here's the
others.
thing: they have no control, no regulation, no tools to affect crypto, right?
They do.
In the same way,
But they
okay,
do
can
in
the
a-
Fed
indirectly.
indirectly? Okay, indirectly, yeah, but those are all secondary effects to their policy,
It's
right?
still, but if you make a policy change or a decision, that
Okay,
you
so
know
which
indirectly
policy
affects-
change?
Okay,
affects-
essentially telling banks, hey, if you are going to service crypto companies, it's legal, fine, but you're not going to have access to X, Y, and Z at your Fed master account. That was happening. That was part of Choke Point 2.0 in conjunction with the FDIC. And so, although they can't come out and say and do what Gary Gensler's doing and sue and this and that, indirectly through the banks, right? He also had this to say, Jerome Powell. A couple things. So here's one of them. A Fed-issued CBDC is, quote, not something we support. If we did have one, it would be intermediated by the banks, which is not a CBDC. That would not be a true CBDC. A true CBDC lies in the name, central bank digital currency. So it wouldn't be a CBDC. He's referring to stablecoins. This is literally what he's referring to as a stablecoin. Speaking of stablecoins,
That's what I've been saying this whole time, is that here in the States, I think that there is too much of a push against the privacy concerns when it comes to CBDCs. And it's not just the people in our own little circles. Heard it over and over again through different politicians that, frankly, aren't even like pro crypto. They're just like, hey, I don't want a CBDC. And Congress has echoed that. I'm not saying that everybody's on board. And I've said it before. I'm like, man, I think the CBDC will be privately run. I think it'll be run by the banks. Not much different than what we have now. How does our printing happen now, right? The banks will, or the federal government and treasury will basically lend money out to the banks through debt, bonds, multiple avenues. But anyways, they give money or liquidity to the banks, and then they essentially print money. And why not just do that digitally, right? They're already kind of doing it digitally, right? They're crediting accounts and creating a ledger from one person to the other. They're not actually printing money and handing it out to the consumers. No. They're doing it in the form of loans and mortgages and business loans and borrowing. And so that's essentially how they print. Remember, if a bank decides to give me $30,000 for a business loan, and they're just borrowing from the government, they just print it, right? The government didn't physically print that $30,000, but They gave a line of credit, or essentially they lent money to the bank, and then they printed it by letting me borrow. And so I think that might happen digitally. That's where I'm getting at, bro.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Crypto Pitbull, who's been a level 1 Sinner member for 11 months. So thank you for all your hard work, Sin City. Thank you for being part of our community. We appreciate it. Guys, this channel will blow up. This will be one of the, if not the largest crypto channel on YouTube, the best production out there, the best content out there. So if you're here now, you're very early, just like we are early in the space. Now, I did mention stablecoins. Well, Jerome Powell also said stablecoins are a form of money. Now, does that mean, we do know the SEC was going after stablecoins. They shut down BUSD. They told Paxos, stop minting it. If stablecoins are labeled a form of money, the SEC can no longer do anything about it. That falls in the OCC, the Officers of Comptroller of the Currency, the Fed, and I believe the Treasury. I could be wrong on that one.
So if stablecoins are money, then it should be treated like money.
Mm-hmm.
Means you could recognize them as fiat.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
And you don't tax it, because you don't tax purchases. So right now, if I decide to buy something or sell something, I can have realized gains and losses if it's because it's a taxable event with crypto, because it's still not considered money.
The government is starting to understand, right? The dollar hegemony is under fire. And so guess what? A majority of stablecoins are still now, okay? Hasn't changed yet, denominated in, and those are US dollars. And guess what? A company like Tether or Circle that does denominate a stablecoin in the dollar, well, they got to back it up by dollar or cash equivalents, which are US Treasury securities, which that market, the liquidity, they were having some issues with it. So the Fed had to come in and say, we will provide that liquidity if needed. And the Treasury Department is gearing up to put out another $1 trillion in bonds, notes,
so there's
and
been a big surplus this year in money market accounts, right? And
money market funds.
Yeah, but historically, obviously, crypto or at least stable coins haven't been in those accounts.
Correct.
But now they are.
That's also a good point.
And do you think that is pushing this narrative? Because
Robin, what about this, Robin? What about if stable coins are officially recognized as money, being able to use them to pay off credit cards, be able to use them in your Apple Wallet, be able to use them to pay for services?
well, there, Kevin O'Leary,
What?
God bless his crypto soul. He has come out and been extremely vocal about regulation in the stablecoins, and that's something I absolutely agree. I think if you want to get progressive regulation or clarity in crypto, what's the one that makes the most sense that isn't very complicated?
Stablecoins.
Yeah. Hey, this represents $1, right?
Literally the easiest thing.
Yeah, it's like, hey, let's just clarify the stablecoin is like $1. Let's put a framework to identify, hey, you're going to launch a stablecoin. Let's make sure it's backed up by dollars. If it represents $1, let's see where the representation is on the backside. Like, it's so simple. Like that's a no-brainer. And if the narrative is stablecoins are money, then, hey, let's regulate it like money. In the same way that, like, if I decide to issue, if I'm a bank and I decide to give travelers checks or whatever, there's, nobody uses traveler checks anymore, but that's an example of representation of money. There's checks and balances for that on the back end, right? When was the last time you used a traveler's check, Rocco? Been a while?
You're muted.
3 years ago, I think. No.
3 years ago, huh?
No. About 15 years.
Yeah.
days ago.
That shows you where we were. Where we
I saw Rocco at Smith's at the
Hey.
grocery store writing a check.
I just brought the coffee today, and I used a travel check from Italy.
Okay,
then
fair enough.
3 years ago.
But here's the thing, like those are regulated, or there's a framework for traveler's checks, right? And they're taken internationally. They have the equivalent of cash, and so it was always a very safe way of traveling abroad because hey, is it good as money, right? Same thing with stablecoins. Like,
Imagine, Rob, right? You have 10 grand, you cashed in some profits. You have 10 grand on your thing and made some money on a crypto. And instead of having to sell the crypto for cash, take it into your bank account, wait X amount of days, and then use that money to spend, imagine just being able to convert it directly into a stable coin and spending that money.
well, here's the thing: if you expand the thesis, if stablecoins are dollars, wherever it is, there should be the platforms should all integrate it, right? Because it's a simple dollar. It's just another version of the dollar, right? So if I have dollars in my crypto account, whatever it is, let's say it's Coinbase, for example, and in the form of stable coins, if it becomes recognized as money, what's going to happen is you don't need to sell it. You just move the stable coins to your bank. Like, and then, hey, you just move it to your Apple wallet. You just, it becomes so interchangeable. It becomes so commonplace that there's not a lot of roadblocks. Now, it wouldn't switch. It wouldn't like switch over like this, but it would happen pretty quickly. And you could have I'm pretty sure that you get an email. Like, let's just say that the Treasury Department says, "Hey, we recognize stable coins as a viable currency. You can pay debts with it. It's a I don't want to say it's legal tender. I don't know if they'll go that far, but
I mean,
is that the direction we're going?
If
right?
it's currency, right?
But here's the thing. I don't think they would label it legal tender because I think they're just representing it as a dollar. Just like they don't need to label a traveler's check as legal tender, right? They're not saying that traveler checks now are legal tender. They are legal tender because they represent the legal tender, right? And the same way that's like, hey, a gift card represents dollars. It's not like gift cards are legal tender. And so if you identify it as money, and this isn't my area of expertise, so maybe I'm just talking out of my ass here, but I'm pretty sure you can just define it as money and then just spend it as fiat currency, right? And so then I'm just thinking one day after that were to happen, you get an email from Bank of America that just says, hey, transfer your ERC20 stablecoins to our bank account. It's not even them being like pro crypto. They're just like, hey, we'll take your stablecoins. Like, send them here.
Benefits them. If there's money to be made, you better believe they're going to move in on it. Now, speaking of moving, we're moving on. Is AI the savior of mass adoption? I don't know. Alchemy's ChatGPT plugin enables easier blockchain analysis via AI. On Wednesday, leading blockchain platform developer Alchemy announced the launch of its latest project, Alchemy AI, which is a ChatGPT-4 plugin for blockchain analysis. Our idea here was to specifically cater to and train a model using ChatGPT that is Web3 development friendly. Specific. The Alchemy AI plugin, Halpern explained, translates natural language inputs such as, quote, show me the most recent block and the transaction in that block. They take those requests and send it to the Alchemy API. It then returns the results in a user-friendly format. So again, breaking down the barrier to entry. This is real-time querying on the blockchain like a developer would, using the API and writing a code script. This allows you to do that through natural language and normal sentences. Now, this also piggybacked to this announcement today. Polygon launches.
I'm searching for the plugin. I don't see it.
Polygon
is it
launches.
Not, is that Alchemy plugin not live yet?
It's So how can we plug in? Should be live. Should be live. But anyways, you keep looking all.
No, that's not. I can't find it.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna
maybe you
try
need
it
to
out.
look harder. Now, Polygon.
I'm on their website. I'm on ChatGPT's website, and I search alchemy. Like I don't know how much harder I got to search.
Probably maybe a little harder. Rob. Now, Polygon has also launched
Alchemy, ChatGPT, no plugins found.
Well, maybe you need to.
I was
somewhere else.
lied to.
Can we get back to the Polygon article, please? Thank you, Rocco. Now, Polygon also launches ChatGPT powered guide. Now, Solana kind of kickstarted this, right? Solana was integrating that and into the Solana phone, and I touted how important that was to break the barrier to entry down, to make it more user-friendly for the average retail investor who's not a degenerate like me or you, right? Not everyone's going to be degenerate like us. We got to understand that, right? But we still need those people. We still understand the purpose crypto can serve and how it could better their financial lives. We bring those people in here. Well, guess what? We need to bring them in here. They need to be like, okay, this is not like rocket science. I can just come in here. If I don't understand something, I have a resource right next to me. I can say, what does this mean? Or help me do this. Or I'm trying to mint an NFT. What do I need to do? Bam, 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 bam. ChatGPT helps us out. Now, Polygon Labs through ChatGPT has introduced the first ever no-code AI platform that is designed to explain the basics of Polygon to all enthusiasts. Labeled Polygon Copilot, as it is referred to as an AI-powered guide trained on all public Polygon documentation and general Web3 content. With all this information, it is able to offer important insights, analytics, and guidance across different aspects of the ecosystem. Users can get information across several domains like NFTs, dApps, gaming, DeFi, and social network via this tool, especially during an onboarding process. Robin, how important is AI and something like ChatGPT to crypto, to blockchain? You have this technology here that we're saying is going to change the world. It's, companies, venture, all going to run on blockchain, but people just don't get it. It's kind of complicated. Is something like what Polygon is doing, what Solana is doing, what Alchemy is doing, is that necessary to push the space forward? What important role does AI have in our space?
For education?
Just in general. Education, helping onboard people, breaking down those barriers to entry, making it easier. No?
No.
Okay.
No. Sorry. It's just not, man. It's
How is it not?
because nobody's using ChatGPT to figure out how to educate themselves on blockchain and how to navigate. They're just not, man. And I'm not saying they won't ever do that, but
I think AI plays an important role.
okay, so give me a scenario. Give me an example of how AI changes.
Oh my God. There's this new NFT project. You know what? I want to buy my first NFT. Where do I start? Oh, crap. Where do I even start? Oh, cool. Here, look, Solana. I can just put in ChatGPT. Hey, I want to mint an NFT. Can you help me? Sure. Bam, 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 bam.
But I think that over the course of time, that the blockchains themselves and the platforms themselves will address that before AI does. I think Solana will make it quick, seamless, and easy to buy an NFT. And sure, there will be people, and before then there will be people, because I use ChatGPT for things that I'm not familiar with, when it comes to scripting.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, but I don't think it's not game changing. It's not like all of a sudden I'm a mastermind super genius when it comes to operating this studio equipment and scripting, right? Like I know how to operate the studio because of experience, but I'm nowhere near an expert in scripting, and it's basically just very, very basic stuff that I've searched. But at the end of the day, I think that the technology itself will evolve and become more user friendly in the same way that scripting is becoming more user friendly. And you can remember back in the day, you had to script all of your websites together. Now you have You have the technology is advanced, and you have these templates and these plug and play, and you don't need to go in and physically type in new URL and links, and you don't have to be a very savvy website designer to build a website, right? You can use these templates, and technology has made it user-friendly. Now, I think crypto is going to be the same thing. Now, if you want to do it from scratch, you want to like build your own blockchain and do all this, sure, you can go that route. But at the end of the day, 99% of the users, 99% of the people that use ChatGPT, for example, they're just going to use the platforms that are easiest to use. And if Solana is extra complicated and super hard to use, you know where the users are going to do? They're not going to go to ChatGPT. They're just going to go to Ethereum, or they're going to go to a platform that is easy to use. And I think that's where we're going. And I'm not saying that there's zero use case and nobody would ever touch it. I'm just saying that realistically, majority of the people are going to go by convenience and where things are just built more efficiently, right? And more user-friendly. And so I think that's more the direction. And I'm not dismissing ChatGPT.
But can't I argue that the chains that are integrating AI like ChatGPT are those chains? So wouldn't that in turn make it important?
Well, here's the thing. They're not easy to use at this exact moment. So yeah, what's a quick, easy plug and play? Here, ChatGPT, tell the peons how to use this thing, right?
I'm just saying, man, people use ChatGPT for everything.
They don't have, they do. But what I'm saying is that it's not game changing is what I'm saying. It's not revolutionary. It's not to the point where it's gonna onboard new users. It might onboard a couple, but it ain't gonna change anything.
I disagree. Let's see what the chat thinks. Chat, do you agree with me or do you agree with Robin? Is AI game changing for blockchain and crypto? Put a 1. If it's not, put a 2. Here's see what the chat thinks.
I think AI is extremely powerful and it will help developers. I just don't think that AI is going to hold people's hands and all of a sudden foster new adoption across this landscape of people that are timid and don't want to use it. The same way that people aren't writing their own scripts, they're not writing code now because ChatGPT's out there. People aren't like, hey, you know what? I'm going to build a website from scratch and not use any templates, and I'm going to have ChatGPT help me. Sure, there's a few lunatics out there that want to do that. But realistically, it's not how things work. And yes, you can do it with ChatGPT. It'll walk you through the whole process. But people are lazy. And that's all I'm saying.
That's why it's going to walk you through the whole process. That's why it's going to be so important, because people are lazy. Robin,
the lazy person's going to sign up for the service, and they're going to go for the easier platform that's easier to build, the more centralized product. They're going to go for the centralized product. They're always going to do that. They're always going to go for easy. And it's human. It's what humans do, man. We can custody our own crypto, but people are lazy and they don't. We can custody our own gold, but people are lazy and they don't. We can, every piece of example in life you can pull up, and people will always take the shortcut, cheaper route that usually has more centralization. That's just how it is. And if you think that people have a new AI tool and they're just going to all of a sudden just build things themselves, I don't think so. People are lazy.
Like the crowd is more on me and Rocco's side here. Rocco put a 1. Rocco agrees. Robin, you're wrong.
I think it's already revolutionized everything already. I mean, if you think about a year ago.
I think you're saying people are lazy. I think that kind of makes the point is...
I know what he tries to say. I know what he tries to say. But
AI is a developer's tool. AI is an assistant, right? That's what it optimizes for. You're not good at writing. You would have traditionally you'd have an assistant. Hey, can you write me a letter? And then you sign your name at the bottom. Now ChatGPT does it. Hey, you write a book, or you make a book. You're the author of a book. You send it out to a publisher. They rewrite the whole damn thing, right? They make it look good. And ChatGPT replaces that. Hey, you want to create something online, you need to know the scripting, whatever. You don't know the scripting, you have a vision, you want to do it this way, then you use ChatGPT to help you. And it's a developer's tool. It's an assistant. But it's not going to take people that aren't in this industry and all of a sudden convert them over. That's all I'm saying. It brings the most out of people. It helps you, but it doesn't make you something you're not. And so if you weren't going to use Solana before, you're not all of a sudden going to use Solana now because there's an AI plugin.
I disagree, but we're moving on from this conversation. And well, look who's, Jesus was resurrected after 3 days, and it only took less than a year to resurrect 3 Arrows Capital, as they are launching a new VC fund. And well, it's not a. So the name of it, instead of 3AC, is going to be 3AC Ventures. On June 21st, OPNX Exchange, a platform for trading claims against bankrupt cryptocurrency entities, announced a new ecosystem partner dubbed 3AC Ventures. And it says the partnership will invest in projects building in the OPNX network and working towards a decentralized future. Well, guess what? Kyle Davies is the founder of it, and he said 3AC is dead. Long live 3AC Ventures. So 3 Arrows Capital is back in the space. It was funny to me. There is something wrong when people can do what they do, when Sam Bankman-Fried can scam people.
This is just history, right? This is human nature. This is not anything new.
No.
The people that were in office and in charge during the 2008 financial crisis, they're all still here. If that isn't the biggest bankruptcy in the history of our modern times, and you'd have to go all the way back to the Great Depression to find something comparable. You're literally at the steering wheel of one of the biggest financial crises that essentially led us to printing money to put us in the position we're in now. And all of those people are still in office. They didn't lose their job. And so if that's the framework for our economy, you best believe that private industry, especially when they have the safeguards to not go to jail and lose all their money and they can file bankruptcy and go to court, you better believe they get a chance for round 2. They're going to take it.
Geronimo said arrows to the knee capital.
That's fine.
Oh, man. Guys, we did do a near protocol video yesterday, an update on what is changing in that ecosystem. So make sure to go watch that video. Also, make sure to go subscribe to Sin City Crypto if you're not subscribed, but go follow us on all of our social medias, Twitter. Also, go join our Discord. Rocco, can we prompt that Discord link in here?
Yeah.
Go join our Discord.
Yeah.
Billy and a few of our other mods in here, they've worked really hard to spruce up our Discord. So make sure to go join it. Pretty fun in there. Also, if you're a whale member, you got a special channel. Big shout out to all whale members, by the way. Our biggest supporters, we thank you so much. And you do get a credit at the end of the show. Also, while we're thanking people, we'd like to thank channel sponsor, Cam's Blue Wire Technology. If you are running a business, you're going to want to give them a call. You're going to want to optimize your network, your IT issues. Visit BlueWireTech.com. Also, go buy some merch. Merchandise is good. Don't be cheap. If you're a whale member, you get 10% off. Robin? Go ahead.
What?
Usually do your little farewell to some new people before we leave.
I don't have any new people.
Oh. Okay, well, in that case,
I don't know where the hell y'all went.
Oh. They went
They're
on the
spending that
screen.
Bitcoin gains, bro.
Bitcoin gains. Now, before we sign off, where's Bitcoin at? $30,115. Huddle on, my friends. Huddle on. And with that being said, Rocco. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you had a great time, as we did. Enjoy the outro music by our friend Cassius Cuvée. On behalf of myself, Robin, and Rocco, we love you all. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
Sin City Crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin, it's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners, special shout out out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors they gonna teach us. Mean coins, they polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin, and sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.